someplace else to find a mate, we still bring us to the table.
But
we're still bringing us to the table.
Tolerate a lot from black men. Don't we tolerate a lot from each other? You know, I don't like the stereotyping where they feel like women is to be flawed for everything. We tolerate each other. What you mean? We black men tolerate a lot off of women. Women tolerate a lot off of black men. For instance, the pimp era. That was a whole era of men.
He was straight pimping,
manipulating, abusing. That you think that era didn't ruin a lot of us in the way we think of how our men treated, and they did it through violence, manipulation.
You decide.
By design, all by design, Queen, all by design to destroy the family structure that he was talking about built in the 60s.
But
and the pimp era was strictly mainly in the black.
Another installation by white America, similar to war on drugs, to destroy the black community from within. We think it's about making money, but it's actually about destroying us for generations to come.
That era ran for a nice little run. These women were scared. These women was abused.
Flo, I understand everything you're saying.
Don't get me excited.
So we're talking about responsibility.
I go there because I like this to be fair.
Hold on, Flo, hold on a second, because this is around. We can't just bulldoze. Okay. Pimp era, yeah. But let me tell you something. The one thing that we do very, very well in our culture is we don't accept the fact that we make our own damn choices.
Nah, you have men that can pump fair, men can pump fair more than
why
anything.
would you, as a woman? Hold on a second, Flo. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. As a woman, let's talk about the pimp era. As a woman, you know that dude is a pimp. Why would you go? Hold on a second.
Guess what? That woman was a child before she became a woman. These men.
Hold on, Flo. I'm sorry, Flo. Every woman. I'm sorry, Flo. Every woman that was aligned with a pimp was not a child. Just because there are incidences. Hold on a second. Just because there are incidences of it doesn't make it the majority. I cannot spend time on the minority. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Is enough of them to ruin the way women see men. It was enough of them back then, even though you say, yeah, we can make our own choice. But when men can put fear in women to have them controlled, and they do this not when they women all the time. They pull these women from the time they are kids, where they can have them mentally controlled. They become grown women and they scared.
Well, how do these men have access to? I don't like talking about the small minority of things, because that is not
small to you, but it's not small.
I'm talking about
it's actually bigger though. All right,
it's
because the black man didn't have the idea of pimping his woman, as the brother said. We've been working alongside each other since we got to this continent. All right, so that aspect of what we do to each other is not necessarily part of our genetics. Right. So that had to be dumped upon us. That had to be taught. We had to be trained to treat each other that way.
How many of us was taken from our parents and sold? How many of us was snatched from our parents and was sold during slavery? Till this day, they have child abduction to this day.
Flo,
we're talking about this on a wide scale to this day. Why are they abducting kids? Tell me why, if that's not your child, why do you want to be responsible for somebody else's kids? Because it's something involved.
We're getting off topic. We're not going to go to child abduction. We're not going to do that, because we're getting off topic.
That's why it starts, though.
No, we're getting off.
A lot of women grow into that.
What you're saying is, let me tell you what you're saying. You're saying 75% of black women, that's basically every black woman, is in her situation because some pimp stole her from her mama and then turned her into that. That's
TJ,
bullshit.
That's scenarios. I'm talking about scenarios. It's not bullshit to me. You're not a woman. I'm talking about different scenarios. Can narrow it down to where we at right now.
You can point that all the way back to blaxploitation films. You know what I mean? Bringing that to the forefront, and all of that was a part of their whole narrative.
The whole scenario.
Blaxploitation
down
was
to this
that whole
situation
narrative
right here.
Okay. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second.